So guys, welcome to the second boss. It's Gorseval. It's got tentacles. It's crazy. This boss is really easy. I've got some excellent news to you. This is a free legendary insight, okay? Now, the only time it isn't a free legendary insight is if you are really, really bad at doing DPS. If you're really bad at doing DPS, this boss is really hard, okay? However, if you can actually press buttons in some kind of sequence, it's really not a problem and it's completely free. So, let's talk about mechanics. Again, it's toughness-based aggro, and you really want to face the boss away from the team, just like Veil Guardians. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Very straightforward. Now, his one important move he's going to have here is an overhead smash. Now, he has an overhead smash that he does every few auto attacks, and that's going to be a knockback, a lot of damage, and apply some torment. Now, the damage and the knockback is not the end of the world. It's not going to kill you, really. But what it is going to make you do is lose damage, and you do not really want to lose damage here. So you do want to dodge this, right? It's pretty obvious. He does a big overarm smash. It's very obvious. You can also use Aegis to avoid it. So, you know, your Mesmers will probably accidentally block it at least. You can have a Firebrand. You can have a Guardian giving stability, something like that, right? All these things can alleviate that mechanic because you're going to lose about 3 to 4 seconds of DPS on everyone who gets hit by that. And you really don't want that because this is actually a little bit of a teeny tiny little DPS check. So, after a smash, he is going to teleport to the middle of the arena, which he's already going to be because we're going to tank him in the middle. And he's going to start pounding the ground and get a break bar. Sections of the arena, little rings of the arena, are going to light up. And after a short amount of time, they're going to, they get covered in goop and then they explode, dealing a lot of damage and giving you 25 stacks of vulnerability. This is going to kill you really quickly if you stand in too many of them. Fortunately, once again, guys, we have the double healer composition. Having a druid, having a heal scourge, or a healer or something like that can actually trivialize this CC phase very easily. While he has a break bar, he also has retaliation. So the intent here is that you want to break it really quickly. Okay, if you have the DPS to break it quickly, break it quickly. You could definitely try. You know, you could have a little go and see where your DPS is at. However, if you want to be slow and steady wins the race, what you can go ahead and do is just not break the bar at all. And you'll see why this is advantageous later. Or break it very slowly. If you're new, I would actually recommend breaking it quite slowly and simply out-healing the retaliation and the goop, right? Okay, just stack up, stand on tag, okay, get big heals, start going crazy, and just keep hitting the boss. Don't go too insane, because that you'll kill yourself, right? Like, especially if you're a Weaver or a Guardian or something like that, you will actually die to the retaliation. But just chip away at his health a little bit while he's using the break bar. The reason for this is because after the break bar is broken, and after a certain amount of time after that, he's going to start casting an ability called Worldeater. Now, Worldeater sends out this AoE, right? A big channel. He raises his arms up to the sky and channels for a little bit. And after a short delay, he will detonate the platform, and everyone's going to get eaten. He eats your soul. You're dead. Okay, there's no downstate. You're instead and you wipe. The way you cancel this ability is by phasing him. You need to get him to 66%, 33%, 0%. Before he does that, before he one-shots you, before you're dead. That's where the DPS check comes in, and that's why you might want to delay the break bar, because that means you can just get more DPS in, right? Hit the boss pretty hard and you're going to be fine. There are also a few adds he'll spawn. So after the break bar, he'll reach into the ground, okay, and summon up some adds. These adds are, again, really annoying. They're not going to kill you, but what they are going to do is disrupt you. They're going to put AoE on you that's going to do some damage to you. They're going to give regen to the boss, which is kind of irrelevant, but, that 130 health a second, it's going to suck, right, unless you can corrupt that off him. And they're going to kick you, which is going to knock you around and be generally really annoying. So what you want to do is have your Mesmers take focus, Necro's Epidemic, whatever you've got. Guardians can greatsword pull, all that useful stuff. Pull the adds in, instantly cleave them down, and they're not going to be a problem. And that is it for the first phase. So it's 66%. Well, actually, no, guys, we got to reel it in a little bit. Okay, we got to reel it in a bit. I'm going to talk about updrafts. If you really can't make the DPS check, then you might have to do this fight intentionally. The strategy I just described to you is what's actually referred to as no updraft. And why is that? Because you don't use a core mechanic of this fight. What you're actually supposed to do when Worldeater is casting is jump off the platform into an updraft. There's 4 of them at the edge of the arena, and you can only use each of them once during the entire fight. This is interesting because he has 3 phases. In other words, you're allowed to use 2 on one phase. Usually the last phase if you're going to do this. I want to say I would strongly recommend not doing this. It makes the fight way harder and actually compounds the mechanics, the other mechanics that we'll talk about a little bit later, and makes the fight way harder. So you don't want to do that. You really don't want to use updrafts. It is probably easier to go to the golem, practice for like 10 minutes, and come back, and you'll have an easier time than trying to do updrafts for a first kill. I would not recommend updrafts at all. But if you really have to, then you should do it, okay? Particularly in the last phase. In the last phase, sometimes you may lack a bit of extra of DPS because there's some extra mechanics that you have to deal with. If you, that is where you can definitely justify an updraft. If you need one, simply run to the edge of the arena. There's going to be spirit walls that you have to knock down, so you have to be on point, right? Like if you're going to do an updraft, you need to decide quickly, right? You need to be on it, run to the edge, break down the wall, which is just like the ones in the pre-event you just did. Wait till the Worldeater is nearly fully cast, right? Nearly, so the AoE is nearly at the edge of the arena. When that happens, jump off, glide on the updraft, back on, keep hitting the boss, phase it or kill it, job done, okay? If you can do that, you know, then you win, okay? So yeah, but updrafts not recommended, guys. Very important. I would not recommend using updrafts, okay? If you can, go and practice your rotation, all right? Practice your goddamn rotation. So there are of course some other mechanics we have to talk about. Right? At 66%, he's going to go invulnerable, go to the middle, 4 spirits spawn, and they're going to slowly move towards Gorseval. If even one of them reaches him, he'll stay invulnerable and then start casting Worldeater, and there's no escape. And your soul is gone, you're dead. Okay, so you must kill these spirits before you reach them. In fact, killing the spirits will start the next phase. So, how do you do this? The most common strategy, and probably the easiest, is to simply go to any one of them and zerg them down. Right? And then you have your druid go to the middle and then wait for the spirits to get close. When the spirits get close, simply immobilize them with Celestial Avatar 5 and with Entangle. This will give you more than enough time to get the job done and kill stuff. If you're struggling with that and it's taking you too long, what you can actually do is just have some of your classes assigned to them and just cripple and chill them, and that will give you more than enough time, right? So if we wanted to, we can have our Necros just apply a bit of cripple, something like that to the spirits, and they'd never get there, right? Holosmith can do this too with the chilling grenades, right? Warrior can use Immobilize. You get the idea. Like, there's a lot of things you can do here to make that a little bit easier. Use the utility of a class to make this easier, right? Yeah. After all those spirits are dead, the phase is just going to reset just like phase 1. Okay, it's just going to go again, except there's one extra mechanic, and that's going to be the Spectral Darknesses. Orbs are going to start appearing about the arena, and they will slowly expand to an infinite size. These are not necessarily a problem, but you do want to kill them when they get too big, because if the AoE touches you that they project, you're going to take a lot of ticking damage, okay, and it gives you a debuff that makes you do way less damage to the boss, okay, and that's obviously problematic because you might end up failing. Now, the cure for this debuff is actually killing one of the orbs. Killing the orbs spawns 2 little orange globs, okay? Little orange specks. Each orange speck removes 5 stacks of the debuff, and seeing as you only get 10 stacks, you need to eat 2 oranges to cure the debuff. When you go for an orange orb, be careful that you're not walking into another goop, because then you've just wasted your time, okay? So the best thing to do here is just have something with range. Like if the orbs are becoming problematic, epidemic them, put a shade on them, put a Scepter 2 on them on Guardian, throw grenades at them, whatever you can do, right? Like cast a Phantasm on them if you're a Mesmer. Just don't let them get too big, and you will be absolutely fine. And yep, it just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat from there, guys. The pattern on the CC attack is slightly different. It's actually a little bit trickier on phase 2, a little bit harder to get DPS in, so you may want to not out-heal that one, but also phase 2 is pretty easy in terms of getting the DPS as well, so you don't have to be too sad. You don't have to be too sad about it. You know, you'll be fine. So there you go. Then you just burn it down to 33%, and then you do the split phase again. The spirits are going to spawn, and then you get to the last phase. There's an additional mechanic in the last phase, which is the eggs. Okay, he will spawn occasionally. Orange circles underneath every player. Run out of those AoEs. They're not dodgeable, invulnerable, or anything like that, okay? There's nothing you can do. So just don't go in those AoEs, otherwise you'll turn to an egg, okay? This will render you useless for some period of time. And then it's just pretty much it. The last CC phase, the last CC patterns is actually by far the easiest. You can pretty much just stand on his ass the entire time and just bash him to death and just out-heal it. It's very, very easy. So in a way, the last phase is a little easier to actually make the DPS check. However, You may need, especially if you're a new group, you may need an updraft in that last phase, so don't be afraid to go for it, okay? And if orbs are becoming problems, this is particularly the case if you have slightly lower DPS, clear out the orbs, okay, during the second add phase, right, at 33%. Like, while you're running around killing the spirits, just kill some orbs at the same time. Epidemic is really, really good for this on Necro. But that's basically it. That's all those explanations. Let's get into it, guys. Prepare for the big, big damage. Okay? Big, big damage.
No, I'm having a good time.
Yeah? You're having fun? So yeah, I just distort that first smash. That's that overhead smash ability there, guys. Do have to be a little bit careful there. But here we go. So here's the break bar phase. I'm just going to go for the break here. Probably shouldn't have used my focus pull there. Let's find the other Mesmer will carry me. And there you go. Easy break. So, as you can see, we out-healed that very easily. Like, no one even took any damage from the retail, really. The adds are now up. I'll use my distort here. There we go. We can pull the adds in there. Try and get those ones on the right. There we go. We got them. And we should be able to get another distort there. There we go. We have the Aegis shared out. So there should be fine there. Just in case, use the heal there. And there you go. That's that done. Overhead smash, job done. We're just going to go ahead and move over to Arrow. Burst this thing down. Get that charged soul. Destroy it. The charged soul is no match for us. So these are the lads. They don't have that much health. They do actually project a little AoE on them that gives you weakness. But as you can see, it's not exactly... it's not particularly relevant here. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There we go. We have our Druid. Matter just went in there. Dropped Entangle. Bit of that juicy CA5. Very good stuff. Not a problem at all for us. And then here we go. We are going to just rinse and repeat now. Get the distort there to block that smash for people. And we're going to have our CC phase coming up shortly. There may be another smash. He actually does occasionally do another smash here. Let's see if he's going to do it. He's not. So I'm just going to go ahead and with my fully charged up F3 here. Let's get that break bar. Use the immobilize, and there we go. It is fully broken. We see the Spectral Darknesses start to emerge here. They are going to get shut down very quickly, though, actually, because of our Necromancers here. There we go. We just distort that. There's another smash. The adds have spawned up again. I actually didn't get the pull there, but they will get cleaved down anyway. I'll try and... They're on me, so I tried to lure them in so they get killed. Let's just finish them off. They actually have a boon that makes them invulnerable. Fun fact there, actually. So you want to actually just boon rip them there with whatever you have, like Mesmer or attacks are good for that. And we have the second spirit. If we wanted to kill these orbs, we could. In fact, if our Necromancers just use Epidemic here, we'll actually end up killing these just for free here. The ones nearby the boss are particularly problematic, right? Like you really want to be careful with these. You want to be a little bit careful with the ones close to the boss because they might end up gooping you and reducing your DPS. One more charged soul to go, and then we enter the final phase, and there will be eggs. Okay, prepare for the eggs, guys. Wow, the boss just doesn't like me today, apparently. And there are the eggs, so just move out of the eggs. There we go. No one got egged. Wait, I think someone did get egged. Who got egged? Wow. I think it was probably Matter getting egged, though.
It was not?
Yeah, it was Matter. So again, we just break the bar immediately. Back out of the goop. As you see, the pattern's slightly different here. It starts immediately on him. We need that res. We have Heal Necro, though, so we're fine. Heal Necro has been activated. And there you have it, guys. A few more eggs spawning. Simply stand out of the way. Get the distort to block the smash. And there you have it. Honestly, one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. The adds are here, but they are completely ineffective. And they're now dead. A completely free kill there, guys. Gorseval, very easy.